Hey everyone, Coach Nicole here, and here is your coaching nugget of the day. Today's coaching nugget is for my folks in career transition, and I just have to point out, have you noticed how weird this job market is? I mean, literally, especially for my folks that are my knowledge workers, my white collar workers doing office roles or the like. Unemployment has not seen these record lows in several years now, since actually before 2020, COVID and the shutdowns there. But yet and still, many of you have been searching for 6 months, 8 months, looking for roles, and it still isn't quite happening the way you thought it would by now. And maybe it's getting close to the end of the year and you're kind of worried about it. I'm going to talk about a couple of things that you want to be aware of in this market that I'm seeing from talking to my own clients that I'm working with in career transition, from folks that have come to me via discovery calls, and I'm looking at their job search strategies, what they're doing, what their metrics look like, and I'm seeing some trends that you may want to be aware of. Number one, I've never seen a market that is more sensitive to you having being crystal clear on the type of job that you're targeting than this one. If you are trying to capture a lot of different possible jobs with one resume or with one general idea of stuff that you can do, this is probably not going to get you much traction in this market. If you want to have the best results, it's good in every market. Quite frankly, if you ask me, every market you want to be crystal clear on your job target. But if you are not clear, then you will find yourself struggling if you have not clarified what you're going after. So I encourage you to do some research. If you don't know how to do that, my DMs are open. Let's talk about some career discovery work that we can do together. Secondly, this is also not a market for the casual job seeker, the person that actually wants to land a job. And what do I mean by casual job seeker? I mean the person that's dropping 1 or 2, maybe 3 resumes a week into applying to 2 to 3 jobs a week, even though they've looked at 30 or 40 jobs all week long. And they're exhausted by the end of the week because that is authentically how you will feel. But if you've only applied to 2 or 3, you are delaying the amount of time it's going to take for you to find that next role. No one will call you for an interview for a job that you only looked at the job posting, right? You've got to apply. And I know that this worked 2 or 3 years ago for some of you, especially those of you that have roles that are kind of in demand, right? You have a skill set that is desirable in almost any marketplace, and you're used to just putting out a few resumes here and there casually and people pinging you or calling you. Or even better, you're used to recruiters finding you and just reaching out to you directly. And maybe that happens here and there, but nothing like it used to. Be aware, you've got to be intentional and you've got to work a strategy. Number 3, something to consider. What industry needs your skills right now? And I'm really thinking about my folks that are in career transition that have seen a lot of massive layoffs across a particular job title or job target. I'm talking to my recruiters, my folks in talent acquisition. Those are roles that have really been struggling over the past 6-9 months. And that's because of what's happening in our economy and just some uncertainty there. And I do believe that it's going to bounce back, as it always does. But if you are in that type of role today and you're looking for that type of role tomorrow, or you were in it yesterday, you're not working today, and you're looking for that type of role in the future, some of these things are going to apply now. It's possible that the industry that you have come from is not the industry that's going to be first to hire you. What are the industries that are growing today that need your skill set and that have a demand right now? There's more I can say about that. So much more about how to tackle a job search. If you are a recruiter right now and you are looking at 6-9 months of not having any traction, there's some strategies that you can use today, and we can certainly talk about those. The other thing I want to bring up, this idea of remote versus hybrid right now, I think it's interesting because yes, remote has had its heyday and it will continue to. There are companies that have been, remote before COVID and will continue to be remote. But by and large, one of the big conversations right now, especially for larger companies, is how to get people back into the office. If you're looking for a remote role or a role that has more flexibility because you need that or you just want it, I want to encourage you to think about looking at hybrid roles that are outside of your city. Because hybrid means a lot of things today. Hybrid could possibly mean that you're going into an office once a quarter for a week. Hybrid could mean that you're there 3 days a week or 4 days a week. Be really aware of what the hybrid means in that organization and give yourself permission to apply to roles that might be available in a market that you could fly to once a quarter, spend a few days or a week in a hotel, and make 20 or 30% more than you're making in your city. It's possible. I'm seeing it happen. So it's something to consider. That's it for me today. Just a couple of ideas about the weirdness of this market. I have so much more to say about this. I have an event coming up in the upcoming days and weeks to talk more about how to help you leverage the job market. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. My DMs are open. For now, I'm wishing you strength for the journey. Career transition is a marathon. It's not a sprint, and we must have strength for it. We'll speak soon.